My name is George Martin Mutumba, and I'll be taking you through this webinar. So to start with, what is paper 16? Paper 16 is audit practice. Paper 16 is audit practice and assurance, and it will be a build up on your paper 9. And remember, paper 9 was audit theory. Yes. So there are quite a number of things that your examiner expects you to know from your lower paper, and you transition them to this paper. So what are the objectives of this paper? Of course, your examiner expects at the end of this paper, they know that as you complete your CPA papers, some of you might want to open up audit firms. And in these audit firms, you will be, we expect you as a CPA to run your own audit firm, to be able to manage quality, to be able to offer very good services that represent our reputation as accountants. Remember, as auditors, people know us as very sophisticated people who have a lot of knowledge. So we, as CPAs, we must prepare you for this very important thing. We know that some of you are already even working with other audit firms. And so after completing this course, you may want to go and open up your own audit firm, right? In case you don't want to open up your own audit firm, we think that you might go and join another big practice. A practice is just a cool word for audit firm. You might join another audit firm as a partner. So this course prepares you for the world in audit firms. Someone might say, but George, are auditors only in audit firms? No, because we have internal audit. So internal audit is just a small part of this paper, but the paper is called audit practice. So practice comes from the word practitioner. So a practitioner is a person who goes out there, who owns a practice, right? And a practitioner is someone who is going from a perspective of an external audit firm. But of course, external audit firms also do internal audit, and that's why we shall also do internal audit as a topic. But remember that before 2023, this paper was renamed, was rebaptized from advanced audit and other assurance services to audit practice. So that is that was to emphasize that the paper looks at the perspective of you as someone who owns an audit firm, as someone who is a manager in an audit firm. So, and that explains why the CPA Council had to sit down and rename the paper Audit Practice. So we shall be looking at you as someone who owns an audit firm, and even the questions will be telling you, you are a manager, you are a partner, you're a supervisor in an audit firm, right? And we expect you to know all these. So that will be the perspective. And I know that many of you are doing the paper because it's compulsory anyway. And like other professions, other professional qualifications where it's optional at this level, here it's compulsory. So I do appreciate the fact that some of you have not gotten a chance to work in an audit firm. So during the paper, I will be telling you a lot of stories, a lot of assimilations, so that you get into the mind of an audit firm, because your questions will be coming as assimilations. The examiner will be asking you, you are a manager, your junior has sent you this, you're a manager, the partner has asked you for this. So the start of this paper, you must first of all know what is the structure of an audit firm. And of course, we assume the structure of the big four. In audit, when we say the big four, we mean Pricewaterhouse, KPMG, Deloitte, and Ernst & Young. Yes, I speak very highly of Deloitte because that is where I started my audit life. So what is the structure like in an audit firm, in an audit practice, right? We have the partners, and those are the business owners. In any other ordinary business, those are called directors. After the partners, we have managers and senior managers. And then after that, we have audit seniors. And after the audit seniors, we now have the audit juniors. So when you look at your syllabus, as it was issued by the ICPAU, the current syllabus we are running on is the one that was issued by ICPAU, and that syllabus was issued by ICPAU in 2023, and it's the one that we are running on. So everything will be tailored towards that. So your syllabus has about 11 elements, as you'll see. Your syllabus has about 11 elements. Your syllabus has 11 elements. It has basically it runs right from learning on how auditors are regulated, who are auditors, how do they behave, and you must remember that auditing is an occupation. But all of us, whether you're a tax consultant, whether you're an auditor, all of us are accountants. And that's why you're regulated by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants. So it's very important to know this. What is the position of auditors as far as accountants is concerned? Most of you go to business school, you're taught business studies, Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Business Administration. Then once you're done with that element of school, you now come, when you make up your mind to be an accountant, you now come and do CPA, Certified Public Accountant. Now, in accountancy, you can be a management accountant, you can be an auditor, you can be an internal auditor, you can be an external auditor, you can be a tax consultant. There's so many things in there as far as accountancy is concerned. This paper will be preparing you mostly to be an external auditor and also an internal auditor to an extent. Now, if you want to go deeper into internal auditing, now you have to go and do what we call certified internal auditor. And the institute usually has a program. If you finish CPA, you don't need to do the whole program of certified internal auditor. You don't need to do all the 3 papers. You only have to do 1 paper, which is called the challenge exam. Why? Because the certified internal auditor program knows that by teaching you audit practice, we have almost 90% prepared you for internal auditing. So that's why I only give you 1 exam instead of the 3 exams, and it's called a challenge exam. Challenge in the sense that, okay, we know you have the knowledge, but we have to test if you have the knowledge. So come to the exam, we give you the paper. As simple as that. So I hope that clarifies why the name audit practice. Now, this paper is a build-up of the lower paper, which you called P9, that is audit, theory, and ethics. So you'll find that the content is almost similar. Why similar? Because the same ISAs that we do, even here that we do, just that here you are at a more sophisticated level. So we shall say, in an audit firm, for P9, we are teaching you how to be an associate and a senior. At audit practice, we are now pushing you to senior manager and partner. So you must think like that. And that is what's going to make this paper very complicated. This paper, sorry about that. This paper does not have computations. It's going to be a lot of, you'll be tested for knowledge, synthetic, evaluation, and analysis. Now, the word evaluation and analysis is everything about this paper. It's full of evaluation and analysis. When you look at your syllabus, look at this. That's your syllabus. Everything, almost everything, the examiner needs evaluation. And that's what makes the paper complicated. Most of you do not know how to evaluate. You just list. You just identify. But remember, almost everything, look at this, everything in the syllabus, they want you to evaluate, analyze, synthetic. Now, someone might ask, we have Harold. Do you know the meaning of the word synthetic? Harold? Oh, Harold. Do you have a meaning of the word synthetic?
I understand it would mean
yes, yes, uh-huh, yes, sorry, uh-huh, I'm not getting you.
Yes, I was saying that I understand it would mean making like a judgment from a group of information to narrow it down.
Exactly. But you should be able to make a judgment. You should be able, as a partner, you will be required to make a judgment from analysis. When you analyze, you make a judgment. You'll be required to evaluate. So when you look at your syllabus, it is full of evaluation, synthetic, and a little bit of analysis. And that is what makes the paper very, very complicated. Very easy. You'll find the notes very, we will only be giving you ISAs, International Standards of Auditing, and IFRSs. However, we will require you to make decisions. We will require you to evaluate, to analyze. So it means that at any one point, you won't find questions like, what are the fundamental ethical principles? No, you will not. But that question, we shall ask it indirectly by giving you a scenario where now you have to talk about fundamental ethical principles without anyone asking you about the word fundamental ethical principles. Then you come to tell us that if I was in this situation, I would do this. When no one has asked you, what would you do in this situation? So I'll just ask you, comment on the issues that have arisen. Then you have to start telling us, oh, this looks like self-interest. Oh, this is how it affects the ethics. Oh, the ICPA has guided like this. But in this situation, we don't think this would apply. Just in one sentence of a question, you have to talk about all this. You have to go from analyzing, make a decision, evaluate, and make a decision. So almost all questions will require you to evaluate. And that is what makes the paper complicated. Why? One, it's a Lugambo paper. So the notes are easy, but we don't expect you to reproduce the notes. Remember, this is a level 3 paper, and we expect you to think at that level. So someone might ask me, but George, why do people fail this exam? It's because it's one of those exams that is Lugambo. Then we have a lot of unwritten rules because you see, you are required to do a lot of evaluation. So sometimes it's not so easy to teach people how to evaluate and how to analyze. But I'll do a lot to my best to ensure that we do a lot of questions together. That way you're able to learn the evaluation. I cannot teach you that the evaluation do ABCD because the questions differ and the context differs. But I know when we do a lot of questions together, I'm able to teach you how to evaluate, how to analyze, and that is key for this exam. Now, so I have hinted on two major things. Teaching you how to evaluate. I cannot teach you how to evaluate in class, but remember, one of the requirements of this exam is for you to have the knowledge. One, knowledge from the lower paper, and which is P9, and the knowledge from the current paper. So how at MAT Abacus, how are we going to do this? One, we are going to have classes. The classes are designed in such a manner that every Thursday we have a class. I will give some additional classes outside the schedule, but those we shall agree together. And the reason why we must give some additional classes is because maybe just when you just count the number of weeks we have, so probably may not be enough for us to cover the material and also the revision. MAT has been gracious enough to provide 10 revision classes, and I think about 16 classes. Those are okay. We shall work within those, and we are able to now in the classes. I'll be giving you the knowledge about auditing, which is also one of the key requirements for this paper, you must have the knowledge. You have to have it. Now, about the evaluation, analysis, and those other things, I will now be teaching you during the questions. During class, remember, questions are very important. Why? When you're going for a football match and you know you're going for a final, you don't practice. You must practice how to take penalties. You must go on pitch and practice how you're going to, the formations you're going to do on pitch. And that's why revision is very important. Because remember, as far as CPA has two things, you must get the knowledge, but also must pass the exams. When you get the knowledge and you don't pass the exams, you cannot be a CPA. But when you pass the exams and you also don't have the knowledge, you're not exactly what we want you to be. You're going to embarrass us. You're going to mention things on a microphone and no one will want to relate with you as a CPA. And you may end up being expelled by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants. So we must strike a balance. One, give you the knowledge. Two, prepare you for the exam. Classes, the syllabus coverage, that's giving you the knowledge. Revision, that is to prepare you for the exam. So if you don't attend revision, you'll have the knowledge. You will not be able to pass the exam. If you don't do questions, you won't be able to pass the exam. If you don't attend class, you don't have the knowledge. You'll embarrass us when you become a CPA. I hope that's clear. So we're going to run two programs. One, class. Two, revision. Of course, during class, I'll be doing some questions so that we are able to drive the point home. We've said the revision sessions will be a minimum of at least 10. I know we'll have at least a minimum of 10, and that should be enough for you to pass. So, what are the learning outcomes? What do we expect from in this exam? One, that's what the CPA has told us, that the overall aim is to consolidate knowledge and exercise judgment, synthetic, and finalization of an audit and other assurance engagements in compliance with international standards of auditing and the regulatory framework. So that's what the whole syllabus is about. Then the assessment level, we shall be testing the learning learners' application of analytical, synthetic, evaluation skills in auditing and other assurance services. Remember, the question will have a case study question, section A, 50 marks. At section B, with 3 questions, you choose 2. What does this show you? You must be able to cover the entire syllabus if you have to have any chance of passing this exam. Now, why do many people fail to make it in this exam? One, just a minute, written something here. Okay, am I able to see it? Maybe not. Okay. Many of you do not take off time. Many of you do not take off time to analyze the exam structure. And throughout our study, I'll be showing the exam structure. I'll even analyze for you how your examiners have been setting past paper questions from the different syllabus. So that's very important, because even today, for those of you who are Arsenal supporters, sorry, I'm an Arsenal supporter, but I'll tell you that before Arteta prepares any team for any football game, he comes and analyzes for them how the other people have been playing. How have they been playing the other games? And that informs which people will play this game, which kind of skills I need on pitch for that particular game. So we are saying that you have to do a lot of questions as much as possible, identify the right group members, and prepare well for the exam. You can do all this preparation, but as we get towards the exam, you might get mind disorganizing events that might affect your pass rates. Someone might say, but George, do mind disorganizing events, including getting pregnant, getting a baby? I'm sorry, I will exclude natural events, because the ladies, you don't have much control over when to get pregnant and when not to. But of course, if you got high fevers just before the day of the exam, it could affect your ability to pass the exam. But sometimes let's not put ourselves on so much things that we don't have control over, and keep ourselves to those that we have within our control. So there's so many other mind disorganizing things we should avoid. For the young boys towards the exams, don't go out on the eve of the exam. If you get a stomach ache, there's so much that can disorganize, you might fail to wake up, right? So I just want you to keep your mind in a very good manner before the exam. But very importantly, we must prepare well. Now, coming back to the MAT situation, MAT Abacus as part of your package, you'll pay, I think the fees should be about 300,000, very manageable. But within that, the school is able to provide a book that we shall be using. The school is able to provide space, reading space, very spacious reading space, and also classrooms, and also a platform where we are holding, for instance, this class, this webinar. So all the sessions will be recorded and also physical. There are some that will be purely physical, and purely recorded. And for those that are purely recorded, we inform you in advance. So this will be purely recorded. So you may come to school and still have it, but the lecture will be purely online. Of course, we have to move with the current digital requirements, because we also know some of you are in Arua, but you'd want to attend class at MAT Abacus. You don't have to take a bus. You can be online. However, when you choose to be online, this is what you must do. Get a safe space. Get a room, like where I am right now. I'm online. I got a safe space where someone is not going to be saying, hey, no. That distracts the class and also distracts you, and you're unable to. So you must put yourself in a very good reading environment. That would be perfect. Remember, this is a paper of Lugambo. Now, someone might be tempted to think that I can go in any space and just put something in my ears and I'm listening. You're not learning. There's no knowledge transfer. You're just listening in. And the paper of Lugambo, that's very dangerous. Why? You'll be talking with your friends and you think you're learning. Unfortunately, you'll not be. This paper is extremely wide. I must say this. Extremely wide. And you have a compulsory 50-mark question and 2 questions to answer out of 3. That's a very small margin. If you don't know that's a very small margin, but it's a very small margin. And there's a very high likelihood you're going to start spotting because you didn't have enough time to prepare. And that's how you start misfiring in this exam. If we remain together from the beginning of the journey until the end, I can assure you that you'll not have challenges in passing this exam, because myself, I've been teaching this exam for more than 10 years now, and I promise you, I have taught for more than 10 years, and my students never have a challenge passing this exam. I have produced paper winners, prize winners, both in ACCA, CPA, CPA Rwanda, CPA Kenya, and I forgot to tell you that all my friends usually call me a one-eyed man. Why? Because I only teach one thing in ACCA. Audit. CPA, I teach one thing. Audit. CPA Rwanda. Audit. CPA Kenya. Audit. Only. So I'm an audit specialist, and I'm here. The fact that I've helped people for the last 10 years to pass this exam, I am sure I can also assist you pass this exam. Never mind, some of you could have done this 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Don't worry. Let's give it this chance. Let's do it together. Let's remain together from the beginning to the end. In class, in case you feel there's something that you don't understand, ask me. Say, George, but this is what I thought. This is what someone told me. I'll hope you understand. Get out of that ditch than you going and making your choice. Or George and so who is right. You don't have the knowledge and experience to make that decision. It's only me who has that knowledge and experience to tell you, oh, this person could have told you this, but it's not right. Well, this is not right because this is what the standard says. And that's why we're not teaching primary school kids here. We are teaching people who are in practice. So we expect these kind of questions, either challenging questions that challenge the status quo, or even questions that help you understand better. Shoot the questions. We are here to assist you. So don't be worried. This guy might think I have guess. No, I actually know that when you're teaching adults, you cannot gag them to a certain corner. You must hear them out and tell them, explain to them why you want them to do things in a certain manner. I'll be telling you, write this like this. Don't write it like that. Ask me, but George, why? Because I expect your brains to be moving. I'm not teaching primary school kids who we must say that that's the Bible and that's how it is. You either take it or I chase you out of my class. No, I don't have the powers to chase you out of my class, but I have powers to guide you to the promised land, and that is you passing this exam. So I've already said a lot of things in a webinar. We always keep these webinars very short so that people out there can also be able to follow them shortly while getting the very important things and not losing out on what is very, very important. Can I take any questions, guys? Can I take any questions now? Can I take any questions? Yes? Any questions? Alex? 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 Okay. Eunice?
Yes, sir. I'm on. But apparently I have no question.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. That is very okay, Alex. And don't worry. Eunice, any questions? Okay. I think we're okay. Please allow me to stop this webinar here. Make sure that you've cleared your fees right in time such that we are able to start together. Remember, this paper, when you look at the material, when you look at the books, it will be very easy. When you look at the pass rates, very low. And I explain to you why. It's because there is a lot about question approach. I'll be telling you as we're doing the questions. Very many unwritten rules. You never find them anywhere. But in audit, that's what we expect. I'll be telling them to you. I have so many people come to me, but George, I have done everything. Why are you passing this paper? And most of the time I tell them, go and do this question and bring it to me. When you see exactly how they're answering, you see that this person has actually read. But the problem is the approach. And that's why we shall take off a lot of time. Now, how we run this program here at MAT Abacus, we will start our revision before other people start our revision, because you're going to study for July, August, September. In October, by the end of September, we must have finished class, whether we like it or not. If within the normal sessions we have not, then we shall have to have some additional sessions on Saturdays very early from 6:30 until 8:30. Those will be purely online, right? Additional sessions, but compulsory, such that by the end of September, the syllabus is done. Then by, of course, your papers will be most likely in the first week of either last week of November or first week of November. So we have only August, which is 4 weeks, plus maybe about 2 weeks of, which is about 6 weeks to have our revision. And of course, we'll be starting most people start their revision towards mid-August, October, whereas beginning of October must be already in revision because we must do a lot of questions. If you have any questions, if you don't have any questions, I want to wish you the very best of your Sunday. And don't forget, please pay up. Let's start immediately such that we are in time. I know some of you could have August papers. It's okay. I'm not going to tell you don't sit them. But because of that, I know you'll lose some time. So what you do, in case you have some August papers that is not audit, what you do, attend the August classes in case you have them. But as much as you attend the August classes, make sure you attend the audit classes as well. You may not be reading, but at least attend the classes so that you don't have a lot of backlog, right? Because I know towards the last 2 weeks of August, you may not even be able to attend the classes, but at least those are just 2 weeks. Why? Because you're trying to prepare for the August paper. And when that happens, at least you're just losing only 2 weeks. And the moment those are back, I mean, the moment you're done with exams, don't wait for the results of August. Just come back. Let's get in there and let's move together until the results come back, such that you don't have to wait for the results. So the time of August results come back, which is around mid-September. At that point, starting audit is a little bit late. So you must know, keep the lights on. Call it keeping lights on. Those of you who have August papers, also don't want to expect to affect your ability to pass August papers, right? So what you do this side, and also I know it for a fact that some of you, when you don't pass your August papers, you'll not even be able to sit in December for audit practice. So what you do, keep the lights on by just attending class, but put a lot of energy in August, in the August papers. But this side, you attend class to keep the lights on. And once you're done with August sitting, come back full swing. Now, not just attending class, but also doing questions, such that by the time we're finishing the syllabus, you're also finishing it. And then October, we are already in revision. If you don't have any questions, I want to wish you a very good Sunday. Thank you for coming. Any questions, guys? One more call.
Some questions in the comment section.
Okay, no questions. I want to wish you a good Sunday. Thank you for coming. Cheers. See you in class. Goodbye. Maybe I could just share my number for those of you who might be interested in probably asking on a personal basis. If someone has one paper in audit, oh, sorry guys, someone has a question. If someone has one paper audit, do you think they can be attending? I don't encourage. This I don't encourage. Don't worry. Why I don't encourage? If you have one paper of audit, study only audit. Once you're done in December, remember, if you have only one paper of audit and you're sitting it just to again clarify, this webinar is specifically for December people, but I also know that we are running a program for people who are doing August. So please make sure that you attend the August classes, not December classes. Now, even if you're doing August and you have audit I mean, you have you want to do in December CPA 18, I don't encourage you to be attending integration classes when you still have a paper on level 3. Instead, you'd rather put all your energy, if you're only having 16 for August, forget about attending 18. Do put all your energy in 16 in audit practice, pass it, then you will be able to, the time between August, between when the results come back of thingy and when the exams is enough for you to prepare for one paper of 18. I hope that is clear. If you're left with only audit, for you to be able to integrate, don't start integration classes. Don't. That would be a mistake. You're dividing time, and yet your ability to do integration depends on whether you pass audit. If you don't pass audit, that would be wasted money and time. Just pay for 18. I mean, for audit, give it your all in August. Once you, not that I encourage August sitting, but assuming that that's a decision that you've already made. Go do audit. Once you're done and results are back, that 1-2 months you have, you can do integration and pass it. I've seen many people do integration in 2 months and they've passed. Right? Isma, is that clear?
Yes.
Isma, is that clear?
Thank you very much.
Please.
Yes. Yeah.
You're welcome. Okay, please remember we have August sitting. I don't encourage it unless you're mentally ready for it. Why? The time is too short, and more especially, it's for repeaters, but the time is too short. If you don't have what it takes, most of you have workspaces, most of you have work at work, you have a lot of things that you do. It's not so easy to pull it off within. But assuming you made the choice already, the August classes are there, please join them. However, of course, I encourage you to do the December sitting. Goodbye. Cheers. Oh, another question here. Another question here. What if I've started classes with May sitting and I intend to sit in August? What if I started classes with May sitting? Yes, August is special revision. If you did classes with May sitting, the August revision is best for you. Why? Remember, it's a paper of most of the things you've forgotten them. So to increase your chances of passing, attend the August revision. It's a special revision. It's not even class. That's why it's highly subsidized. It's 150K. It's half the price because it's special revision. We are not teaching. We are doing questions. That's what you need. Right? August is special revision. That's what you need to pass. Veronica, is that clear? That's why it is half the price, because it's special revision. Okay. Any other question? Thank you. Cheers. Goodbye.